Did you feel that tiny shiver slip through the gym tonight? The kind that tells you a season just changed shape without a headline? Why did the coaches freeze a drill not to score a turnover, but to circle a defensive rotation on the weak side and say, that lock it in? Why did LeBron glance to the corner before the set even started, like he already knew where the punishment would come from? And why did Anthony Davis walk off the floor looking calm instead of hunted, the way he does when the point of attack is sturdy and the glass belongs to us? If you've been watching this team ride the seesaw between pretty and painful, why did today suddenly feel inevitable? I won't give you the reveal yet. Here's the promise. We're going to break down the one remodel that can turn the Lakers from surviving runs to controlling games, how the forward slot next to a D becomes a lever instead of a logjam, how it rewrites the clutch menu for J.J. Redick, how it redistributes touches for LeBron and Austin Reeves, how it raises the floor of every trip without stealing the ceiling, and how it changes what we're allowed to demand from the kids. We'll map rotations that steal the last 90 seconds of quarters, the foul math that flips a series, and the exact habits that make a role playoff proof. We'll separate what's fact from what's speculation. And when the news drops, it won't feel like a rumor. It'll feel like something you already saw coming. Family, this is Lakers News Fan Report. If purple and gold is your pulse, hit subscribe and ride with us. We talk like fans, think like scouts, and we don't blink in May. All right, context. The Lakers have been gorgeous in theory and chaotic in practice. Some nights the ball hums like a string section. Others you're begging for a simple two-man action that doesn't die on the second pass. Last season, too many possessions asked Steph-level magic of guys who needed structure instead of miracles. That's not on heart. That's on geometry. In the West, you beat length and heliocentric guards by taking away their first read early and by giving your star the cleanest late clock decisions possible. That means the spot next to a D call it. The combo forward seat can't be a vibes contest. It has to be a machine. Think of that seat as two profiles sharing one chair. Profile A, the chaos wing long, violent, eats screens, turns a 50-50th board into our ball, and makes the other team hate the first dribble of every action. Profile B, the spacer Carpenter plants in the corner, lifts on time, screens like a grown-up, relocates on penetration, and cashes the corner three without drama. One breaks your favorite play. The other makes our simplest play unbeatable. You don't choose a favorite. You make both playable and you choose by whistle, matchup, and mood of the game. Here's the news you came for. Inside El Segundo, the Lakers are remodeling that chair on purpose. With a plan, and the two names orbiting the plan are Jared Vanderbilt and a pure spacer. Profile the staff has been cataloging all summer. A profile many around the league shorthand as the Jake LaRavia archetype. Fact, the Lakers are building camp and early season reps around a rotation where Vanderbilt's defensive violence and a true corner sniper can both survive and sometimes share the floor. Fact, Vanderbilt's health track and corner three volume are being treated like swing variables, not background noise. Speculation, that LaRavia himself becomes the chosen spacer solution via acquisition. What's concrete is the type, not the passport. If that archetype lands, the offense breathes without sacrificing size. If it doesn't, the remodel still runs because the habits are the point. Let's talk what this means with a ball in play. Offense first. When a D is the hub and LeBron is the editor, the worst sin is clutter. A wing who lets his man dig at the post, a screener who doesn't hit the body, a spacer whose feet lie about his shot. Vanderbilt's mandate is simple and mean. Make the weak side tagger choose wrong. He doesn't have to be a pull-up artist. He has to be present in the corner and ruthless on the cut. 2 attempts a game from the corners at league average or better is enough to punish disrespect and open the short roll reads AD loves. Add a clean dribble handoff, DHO, and the rescreen counter, and suddenly our .5 offense doesn't stall when the first look isn't there. The spacer profile's job is quieter, but just as heavy. Hold the corner like a lifeline. Lift on LeBron's drives to create that diagonal window. Be ready on the catch, and never turn a grenade into a dribble. If the low man leans, it's 3. If he stays home, it's a layup or a foul. That's not highlight stuff. That's adult basketball. Defense is where the remodel grows teeth. Vanderbilt is already a problem sticky on screens, fearless on switches, loud enough to organize help. Tailoring him means cutting the cheap reaches, angling his feet to funnel into a D, and treating every rebound like a paycheck. 2 hands, elbows wide, pivot out. The spacer profile doesn't have to be Vando. He has to be Vando-proof show and recover on big small actions. Switch late clock only, close out under control, and jump second at the rim with palms to the rafters. If he does that, his shooting never has to leave the floor in May. If he can't, his gravity evaporates the second the whistle tightens. Now, the part fans feel even through a screen. Clutch clarity. For 2 years, the Lakers have toggled between pure LeBron creation and hope the role guys hit enough corner looks to survive. The next 4 minutes, remodel gives J.J. Redick 2 clean closing toggles. He can call like a bartender. Need a stop? You roll with the pressure group. Point of attack dog. Reeves as the helper brain. Vando as the eraser on the primary wing. LeBron as second-line editor. AD owning the air. Need a bucket? You roll with the clean space group. Another guard to handle and screen. Reeves connecting. The spacer profile glued to the corner. LeBron the fulcrum. AD the finisher. Either way, the plan starts early in the quarter. We hunt the end of Q1 and Q3. We own the 2-4-1. We take the last shot. Those little thefts flip scorelines that used to wobble. Train it and it shows up in small ways that look like effort to TV cameras, but feel like engineering on the floor. Watch how the staff is rewiring footwork. Vando's corner base landing the same every time. Dip minimal, release high. The spacers catch and shoot quiet from the hips down. Both players drilling 0.5-second decisions, so the star engine never idles. Listen to the language. 12-minute burst, not 26 straight. Chest, not shoulder, on contact. Second jump windows on rebounding drills. Foul economy track like shot diet. This is how an idea becomes a habit, and a habit becomes a weapon. Matchups? That's where the remodel earns rent. Denver demands the grown man version Vando, eating dribble handoffs. LeBron living as a second-line thief. A D cleaning the trash. Spacer punishing the early dig. Minnesota demands glass and patience Vando plus a D with real bodies on the boards and the spacer dragging size out of the paint. Dallas demands communication and restraint. Don't bite the Luka magic. Make him live in floaters while the spacer turns any overhelp into a 3 you hear before you see. Oklahoma City asks you to be calm for 48. Boston, ruthless for the last 4. The point is not that one player solves all that. The point is that the seat does, because both profiles are playable and trusted. Let's address the elephant. Minutes and egos. This is not punishment or politics. It's allocation, early window. Vanderbilt living at 18 to 22 honest minutes, spacer profile 16 to 20 with the chance to rise. Earn the increase between games 11 and 30 by hitting your benchmarks. Vando at approximately 1.1 points per possession on spot-ups, 35% from corners on modest volume, 60% at the rim on cuts. Spacer at approximately 39% on corners, approximately 36% above the break as a trailer, and sub-half-second decision times on catches. By January, one of them lands at 24 to 26, the other 14 to 18. Then it flexes by opponent. Back-to-backs? The fresher body takes the heavier lift. Adults only? That's April. Now the reveal. As promised, the quiet move inside. El Segundo is a deliberate remodel of the combo forward role-building a system where Jared Vanderbilt's defensive violence and a true corner sniper spacer both hold value every night, with the staff actively exploring external options to fill that spacer archetype, league shorthand, the Jake LaRavia type, while demanding internal growth from Vando on corner volume and DHO reads. What's fact? The role remodel, the emphasis, the camp plan, and Vando centrality. What's speculation? The specific name that fills the spacer chair and the exact closing 5JJ standardizes by Christmas. That's the line, and it matters. Now that it's on the table, let's be adults about the risks. Vando's shot can go cold at the worst time. The spacer profile might not survive switches against playoff wings who smell blood. The fix is usage discipline. Vando resists above-the-break threes that aren't serving the possession. The spacer resists chasing blocks that aren't his to win. Each dominates his lane force and disruption versus calm and clarity, and the staff protects them with smarter triggers. Ghost into short roll. Hammer into corner. Spain with a late reject to weaponize our best reader's brain. On ugly shooting nights, the remodel's value actually spikes. Because the offense can still manufacture free throws, and the defense can still turn the game into a slow argument we're built to win. LeBron and AD. They benefit twice. In the first and third quarters, the spacer quietly buys LeBron windows to edit the game without driving into a thicket. In the second and fourth, Vando's presence lets a D play goalie instead of firefighter, and LeBron can play thief instead of plumber. Reeves, who carries more brain than most guards twice his size, gets a cleaner lane either way. Connector with the spacer, helper brain with Vando. The kids are told the truth. Cut hard, screen honest, hit the shot that's yours. Tag early, talk early, rebound like it's rent. If you do that, the rotation holds for you in May. If you don't, it will be a cold spring dot, and you can feel JJ's fingerprints already. Pace that never panics. 5-out spacing without surrendering size. One language on defense early, loud, honest. He doesn't need 10 options in a timeout. He needs 5 he trusts. The remodel gives him 2 versions of the same truth and makes his late-game toggles clean instead of desperate. That's how coaches sleep in April. Is this a headline? Not the kind that trends. It's better. It's a set of habits you'll recognize by December without having words for why the fourth quarters feel different. The opponent's star looks tired at 8 minutes, not 3. The end of Q1 belongs to us. The 2-for-1 is ours by design. And when the whistle tenses, we don't look around for a hero. We step into a map. My take, stamped before the season tips. This is the right pivot at the right moment. The Lakers don't need a crisis trade to matter. They need clarity and cruelty in the role that's been a question mark since teams decided to live in the paint and dare the shooters to blink. Make Vanderbilt's shot honest and keep his chaos pure. Add or cultivate the corner sniper who never lies with his feet. Give JJ toggles he can call in his sleep. Do that, and Denver stops being a mountain and becomes a long walk. Minnesota becomes glasswork. Dallas becomes a math test. Oklahoma City becomes patience. Boston becomes breath. All winnable if your adults stay healthy and your role players keep their promises. So here's the last picture I'll leave with you. The moment you'll recognize when it hits. 2 minutes left. 1 possession game. LeBron brings it up, glances to the corner. Spacer sets his feet. Vanderbilt pretends to screen, then slashes behind the ball watcher. AD prowls. Reeves is already on his 0.5 clock. The defense hesitates between 2 bad choices, and the whistle comes as a mercy. That's not luck. That's a remodel doing its job. That's how grown teams close, and that Lakers family is how you turn a logjam into a lever.